Welcome to Tap the Wire. I'm Andrew from Fantasy Aid, here to give you some waiver wire pickups you should look at this week. Now I'm going to start off with some shower league pickups. Mostly going to be focusing on deeper guys because really in these leagues, if you're in a competitive leagues, these guys should be owned. And the first one on that list is Matt Moore. Yahoo has him at 46% and ESPN has him at 28.5%. Looking at the numbers, I've already been hyping him up in sleeper videos this year. He's responded great this spring training after finishing last year well. I mean, look at that. 1.74 ERA, 0.774 whip, 11 Ks, and no walks this spring. He should be owned in almost every league format at this point. Number 2 on the should-be-added list is Blake Swihart. Yahoo has him at 25%, while ESPN has him at 12.2%. Coming into the year, I believe Real Muto would have been the most underrated catcher. I loved him as a sleeper, but his percentage owned in Yahoo is 37%. That's even more than Swihart. Swihart is super underrated right now. He hits in a good lineup and has good gap power. I would take him over guys such as Yasmani Grandal and Yan Gomes. Here was my number 3 pick. We're getting into deeper leagues here. In Yahoo, he is at 20%. Is actually owned more than Swihart, but in ESPN, he's only 4.1%. He's coming into the season as the Rockies' primary first baseman. Great ballpark and lineup, and I think he'll hit for decent power. And he should be owned if you have a corner infield spot in your leagues. He's one of the guys that demonstrates the dramatic difference between Yahoo and ESPN rosters. Obviously, ESPN, a league is typically a little bit shallower, but there's a major split there between his percentage owned. Number 4 on my list is for deeper leagues with a kind of a stash guy, Socrates Brito, 2% in Yahoo, 5.3% ESPN. It looks like he will not win the battle against Tomas for the outfield spot, but he is a guy to stash because injuries or struggles, I think he will be the first guy to be given a chance to win that spot. I think in the future he could be a David Peralta with a little bit less power. So he'll hit for a good average. He'll give you some doubles if and when he gets the starting role. And finally, Mark Canha, Yahoo 3%, ESPN 1.1%. He's kind of like the Ben Paulson situation. Obviously, in regular rosters, he should not be on your team. But if it's a deep league, you got a corner infield spot, he's a great guy to fill that. He had 16 home runs in his rookie year with Oakland last season. He has not done great this spring, but I think he's worth a stash in deeper leagues. Say 14 if it's like a really deep roster. Regular 16-team rosters and above should probably have him. The minor league stats suggest he could be a 20 to 25 home run guy, so if you're hurting for power, he's a guy to look at. And it's time to get out those binoculars because it is time for the watch list players. This week's watch list players are Kyle Gibson for the Twins. Watch that closer situation carefully. If it seems like Glenn Perkins is faltering, he's a guy to scoop up. Rick Porcello from the Red Sox. If he gets off to a hot start, he could be a good back-end rotation type. And Rich Hill, who obviously had a couple great starts for the Red Sox last year, but has really struggled in spring training this year. So these are guys that you don't necessarily need to add now, although if you're in a deeper league, Kyle Gibson should be rostered. But these are guys to watch really close because they could become relevant down the road. So that's it for this week's Tap the Wire, and we will be uploading this every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Time to give you a chance to set your lineups for the week. For Fantasy Aid, I'm Andrew. Thanks for watching.